What we have here, folks, is more video store footage. I just went through some of my DVDs and I found some footage here. I don't think I included it, so I'm going to put it now since it is a Christmas time footage. December 25th, 1991. I'm going to be talking over this footage. I do have sound, but I'm going to leave it off and see what happens. You know, as I go through it, I'm going to try to do it that way instead of having the sound in the background. Okay, so I'm going to start it up now. Okay, that should do it. So this is right in the front of the big store that we had. We had two stores. This is the big one, and then when this closed down, we got another one. You know, smaller to keep going, to keep the business going. I should be coming into the scene pretty soon. There I go. That's me from 1991. Yep, I was fixing the tree then and taking the video then, so this is probably the oldest footage from 1991. So you can figure it out. That's 28 years ago. And I was doing, I guess you could call this a selfie, as you might call it, back in the day. I'm going to come over here now and I'm going to say something. I'm going to, you know, fill it in myself. Merry Christmas from USA Video, and have a healthy and prosperous New Year. That's it. I just put it in there. Here we're outside now, that big store. Look at that. It's the way it was. It was real popular then, the video stores, when they started out, because what made it happen was there was beta tapes first. And there were some movies on beta, but then VHS took over. They were bigger tapes, but they just took over. All the movies were coming out on there, so everybody was getting VCRs. They were kind of expensive then, the good ones. And so when everybody got VCRs, they wanted to rent movies so they could use the VCR. And I was having a lot of, you know, for me it was easy. I used to help a lot of people hook everything up, you know, so that was an advantage of, you know, me being in that store. Now you can tell, even though I have the date on the screen, if I didn't, the footage would tell you. See, back inside again. Footage would tell you outside by the posters. You would know there was Steven Seagal there. One of his earlier movies, so you can see that. So this is all very good to have, you know, for now, for the video store business. That's why I want to do a documentary, because I think I have enough footage. I have over 1,000 hours. And I have all the tapes marked by date. Some of them will be marked like that with it, you know, on the display, but not necessarily. So the problem is, I went through some of these tapes not too long ago. So I was playing them on the VCR and I was copying them on DVD. In this case, I took the sound off now. I had sound music, but I think I'm going to leave it off. Sometimes it's too much. I've been doing that, leaving the music in the background and all. You know, what I used to do was like play it, like I'm doing now, and then take off the audio and plug in a switcher box that had a microphone and it had music, and I used to go back and forth. But in this case, I'm going to try to do it this way, because the footage that I have, well, this is Christmas time. Of course, we know that. You see, that's inside the store, and we had TVs pretty much throughout the store. I'm going to go around. This is what I was doing with the camera. Now, the camera I'm using here was a big camera. It had the VHS tape, so it was alright. It wasn't as good as the cameras of today, but you can see it pretty good. I'm just showing how big the store was back in the day. And there's a Santa Claus poster I had. We had drop ceilings, so it was easy for me to run wires and all for the TVs, from the VCRs and all that. It wasn't that difficult to do because of that. I use this camera that I'm using. I use it for surveillance in the store. I used to put it up on the back of the counter, and I, you know, used it that way and hooked it to the VCR. I had a VCR under the counter, and I also had a VCR I hid up in the ceiling, just in case something happened and they pulled out the VCR, but it would still be recording. So you can see pretty much this store was really big. And it, you know, it wasn't like we had so many people that we couldn't, we needed all that room. Not necessarily. Now you can see the computers there. There's 2, 3, there's 4 computers. So right at this time, we had 4 people working at a time, because there were so many people coming in to sign up. So one person might do memberships, another person might do rentals and returns, and I might, all the computers were able to do everything the same. So those computers were all parallel. They were connected to one another, but they weren't connected to the internet, of course not. And you can see the TV. I would play movies in the store. I might play this footage that you're seeing here, but not usually too much. Most of this footage I had, I never really... I'm going over it now, but not so much. You can see there a fireplace on the TV. Mostly I play movies in the store. People see a movie, it might make them, preview tapes and all, might make them rent some of the movies. Now the sections were all alphabetized, and there's empty boxes on the shelves. So you can see there, if there's spaces, that means it's rented. So we wouldn't shift those shelves. As soon as it comes back, we have the space and we put the box back. But on the new releases, since we're renting so many, we would have to shift the boxes a little bit, and as the movies come back, we would put it back in place and shift around. That's one of the jobs that we did, to keep everything looking good, looking full. Even though we might have rented a lot of movies, the shelves do empty out, the new ones. There was times when we just shifted it and maybe leave an empty space on the bottom shelf, just do it that way if it was a lot rented, to make it look good. And you can see that the chaser lights we had, they lasted a while, but eventually they burn out. And then it's the box on there, and it's not where it's a big box, a transformer. It wasn't worth, trying to get them again, so they lasted a while. And you can see now how it looks. And of course, we had, this, of course, you can see right there, all the movies in the front, and that was for sale. The Christmas movies, so I put that poster there, and the Christmas movies that we were selling for $9.95. And they sold, because we had a lot of copies, and we didn't need that many copies of them, even though they always rented at Christmas time. So you can now back outside, from outside looking in, you can see. Not a tree in the window, but it was a stand-up that they sent us, and I put lights on it. And Steven Seagal, Out for Justice. So you can figure when that movie was. In the 1990s. There we go. Looks a little better there, because that camera that I'm using, like I said, it doesn't have a good... It's not so automatic. You pretty much have to adjust it as you go for focus and all. It looks good when you look in there and all. It makes a nice appearance. That was my car I had then, a Subaru hatchback, I think it was. It's been a while ago, in the 1990s. I've got a parking out there. So you can see how it looks. I'm walking around out there, trying to show how it looks back in the day. See, this would make a good, for a documentary, this would be good to have on the screen. But the whole thing is to make a documentary about the video store business. It's picking from this footage and put it together, from different years. I don't have every year that we were there, but I have like this footage. Since it's outside and inside, and this is the oldest footage I have, well, it could be a good part, to use. Again, I have a lot of it posted online now. You've probably been seeing it. And I'm doing it because I figure the more to show this footage, maybe someone out there is able to do it on their own. Maybe they have a studio or equipment and they might want to do it, see how it comes out, and make a production of a video store, a mom and pop video store. That's what this was. There was a few stores, but there wasn't like them big chains. Like West Coast Video might be, it's not on the West Coast. There was a West Coast Video right around where we were there, so on the East Coast. So those big chains, and Blockbuster, they had stores everywhere. Here we go again. I did this, back in the day. Like I said, I had the camera hooked up there. Yeah, I put this on again because this is something for me. It's 28 years ago. I think I'm about the same. I'm more grayer now, that's all. I'm just gonna dub it in myself. now anything that's talking like that, since I took off, I have the sound for this. I decided to do it this way. Merry Christmas from USA Video, and have a healthy and prosperous New Year. Thank you. Back outside, so some of this I repeated a little bit because it was from that year, 1991. I don't even know how I have this for some of this footage because that's quite a while ago. More recently, I have more footage. Oh, in early 2000s from both stores, but here, this was older. So if I decided to talk over it, because if you can listen to it, then what I'm saying is like I'm talking to somebody that might be interested in doing this. I've been posting this for a few months, this stuff, and I don't think too much people get interested in it, but because you figure you can see it here, but it's not the same. Because if this was well produced, and it becomes a documentary, and a lot of stuff could be done to it, So again, I could be interviewed, because I know all about it, and also customers could be interviewed, customers that might have been customers at the video store. A lot of people today, I'm sure, because people today never even know about a video, so never been in a video, so they couldn't be. Because if this is 28 years ago, anybody that's like in their 20s probably never did, because they're in the technology now, with everything streaming and uploading and all this stuff now for movies. They wouldn't be renting movies. You can buy movies, you can stream them, you can do a lot now. So this is like really showed how it didn't take too much time for this to get old. I mean, this footage is 29 years old, but figure it this way: this looks like it could have been less than that, because the technology moves so quick. This even looks older than that, because it's so much things have happened. We had computers then. A lot of things then, but it didn't develop, then it was just, I guess a personal computer. I mean, even the computers we had, if something went wrong, I could call a guy that did the programming, he could talk me through it, what codes to punch in. That's the way it was, and we were dependent on it, because there was times where I think in the very beginning we had those 3x5 cards, and we would write down the person's name and all the information, and then when they rent a movie, we would write it down. But it's a computer really took place right away for that program for this. And plus, we paid on return, no prepay. Yeah, that's me hamming it up. Yeah, we most of the stores were prepay. So you might pay $5 a movie, for example. You get 3 days or 5 days. In our case, we didn't want to do it. We don't have no drop-off box, none of that. So that's the way it was, and we stayed with that all along. We never, wanted to do that prepay. A lot of people wanted to do it. If you have a lot of movies, it was good, because we were getting all that money up front. People don't bring the movies back. You can't rent them. You're going to need more copies, because your movies are out longer. In our case, people used to complain, I don't like to come here because you don't have enough copies. I said, that's a mistake. We do have a lot of copies. Because when they're rented, remember, they're coming back the next day, most of them. It's overnight rental. So a lot of people, come in towards near closing. We usually have a lot of returns. And you can probably get a lot of the new releases. So sometimes I would be busy towards closing more because of that. Sometimes a part of the day, it wouldn't be busy at all. Then other times, it would be. And, as far as people want to reserve movies. We didn't reserve. I don't care who it was, because I don't want to be holding, especially new releases. The stock film, I'll say, just come in, it'll be here. We don't want to do that. I said, we rent movies, we don't reserve movies. Because what happened a few times, like one of the clerks I had, they didn't know. They're holding a movie, and I think I came in the afternoon to work. I said, what are you doing that for? The person never came in anyway. So I said they might go to another video store and find it. So I stopped all that. I made sure that the customers knew that, because they get upset. I said, why can't you? I'm coming over. I said, no, it'll be here. First come, first serve. We want you to come in and get it. You might get something else. So that part we kind of, because I was there every day, all the years I worked, opening to closing and all, and the both stores that we had. So by having one person that's doing everything, so it stayed about the same. You can see that sign and all. I mean, it looks like, when you look at that, you would never think it's a mom and pop store, but it was. It's only a few stores on the East Coast. Company had them, and they were, the owner, he kind of sort of like, I guess, transfer them. You could buy one store, maybe three, whatever. Depend on the locations. This is one of the big locations of that store. Like I always said, USA Video, we always put you first. Well, the name, you. See, and these are the stand-ups that they sent us. Yeah, so this is pretty good. I'm going to show, by doing this, I'm just showing what can be done. There's the things that people should know, the information. They may not know that. Everything's alphabetized, and it's by category. And they bring up the box, because the tape's not there. You have to have a membership card to show it and all, and then that's it. But most people, nobody had a membership card. First of all, we knew most of the people. Secondly, they'd either give the number or their last name. And I might, if I didn't know the person, I might ask for information, The TV behind the counter. I mean, I played some of these tapes that I had in the store, not too much. If I had music and all, I might put Christmas music and I would play it and use this as the video, so people could walk around and hear the music. Now, parking in the rear. We did have parking. Most people didn't even know that. It was parking in back of the store, because it was part of the same building. There was another business. So most people walked there. They didn't really need it, So that was all right. You can see that the decorations is like, because Christmas time is busy because the weather. Like when it snowed, it was always busy there, in the colder weather. Here's Demi Moore. And she doesn't show more, she shows less, huh? There's typical decorations. I put that bow there to kind of cover up a little bit. And those posters I have in the winter, there's two poster signs. So we changed them when the new posters would come in before the movies came out. So this, because me looking over the footage and telling you what I'm telling you, somebody else might not know what to really say about it. Like, here you can see that those islands, they were built in there. They made a frame out of 2x4s and then took 4x8 plywood and, and nailed it down, and then painted it blue, and then put 2x4s on the front. Since the 2x4s there wasn't much cutting, because if they used whole sheets, 4x8, and then a 2x4 strips for the shelves, then once that was all done, paint everything again, and then we put the mirrored strips. They came in strips. I think they were like 4-foot pieces. They could be cut. Trying to keep everything where there was less cutting there. Now right there's a room there we were building. That was the adult room. So that was from pretty much the beginning of the store. See, we had adult films. We used to have them back in the counter, and somebody would ask, and I would show them. I would have the boxes like flattened out, and they could see it and rent it. But by having it in the room back there, we built the shelving the same way, like I just said. Those islands, and they were fastened down. They really couldn't be moved that easy. Now there's the mirror. And you can probably see me in the right-hand corner. It's just about cut off. Right where the O of the USA Video. Yeah, so this, you can see how many copies there. That was Mission Impossible. We had a lot. Problem was with the movies, see what happens with a videotape? A little interference. That happens with tapes. That's why I was trying to copy it on the DVD, so that would, save them from going bad. You can see them now. He had all them games there. pinball machines. It's still around. I mean, those games, we had a lot right there. We had the crane machine for the stuffed animals, and then we had a candy machine there, like bubble gum, sticker machine. A lot. You know, there's still plenty of room in there. And this is the counter. And I have all these, you know, rules that we were closed Christmas Day and New Year's, and it'll be a free day. You know, because a lot of people, they were getting confused. It's an overnight rental. It's a free day. They thought it was for free. A free day. The day that we were closed. What they thought when they brought it back, it was free. And that's why I had the sign up there. And this is Happy Holidays from USA Video. See, I have those stockings. Those stockings I put all the years, all different places. And by doing this, I refresh myself too. To see, do a documentary, I could do like I'm doing now. It could be taken and made a script, and someone else could do it. And get somebody well known, Samuel L. Jackson or Morgan Freeman to do it. Again, what I'm showing here is not the same as if it was in a documentary, because it's going to be put in such order. It may show the counter transactions, and then might show outside, inside. It's going to show a lot of things. Christmas time, especially snowstorms. I have a lot of footage on snowstorms. The big thing was Christmas time. Like I said, it was in the wintertime. In the wintertime, the fact it was cold, more people stayed in to rent movies. So that, you know, the business was pretty good for a while, because it was until that cable came in. And cable wasn't in all the areas yet, so it took a while. Once that cable came in, no more trips to the video store. Stay at home and pay for view. Now, this was 1996. I mean, it's the same store. It just so happens the other footage was 91. So if I didn't have this right now, I might not be saying that, because I wouldn't be sure. But outside doesn't look different. The only difference outside is going to be is because of the decorations that's in the window. And you can see those poster frames, they had lights. Right there I had another, well, there's a face-off, a 97. See how that went? If I put footage on here, this was 97. Now you've seen 1991, 96, and 97. But see, at least it's marked that way. But there's probably from different tapes. When I made this DVD, it's been a while since I made this DVD. It'd be hard for me to do it with the VCRs now and all. The VCRs are still around. All that footage I have is on those VHS tapes, 6 hours. So you can figure, divide 6 hours into 1,000, and you can figure how many tapes. So I say, I know it's over 1,000 hours. They're not the same. I mean, I can have a month of tapes from this store, 97, December 24th, 1997. So I decided to put this footage because it's some of the older footage. But again, it's I know it can be done. I just don't really know how to go about it to make a professional copy. To see if anybody would. I mean, it can be done. I know with the streaming and uploading and all that. Maybe it can be put into an audio book or something. I think it's got to be done professionally, and of course, if I decide, whoever I partner with here, it could be a business. It can be anybody that wants to try it, that might be doing videos and stuff. You might want to say, you know what, he has a lot of footage. And I have plenty more, but you need a VCR, to try to do it. But I think I might have enough here. And whoever would make a deal, a company, a business, or whatever, well, I'll give them all those tapes. And maybe they can put it upload those tapes into the computer by date, I guess, because I have them all marked. And then it would be easy to go through the footage, because I know there's a device. From the VCR into this device and then into the computer. But I don't know how it would be done. You could just going to have to stay there for 6 hours and watch it. I guess that would be the thing to do. if you could do that's going to take a lot of time. But once all that's done, then as you look at it, you can make a note to what tape that was on. So once everything's in the computer, then it could go back and pick out and put it together. But you're not going to do like I might repeat something here. Now this is outside of the store. I'm just showing, you know, how the neighborhood was. It's a big street there we were on and all. And back to the front. Remember, I'm walking around with this camera on my shoulder. I'm zooming in. It had that. A fireplace in the window. I had that a lot. Ernest Saves Christmas in that poster. And then looking back inside. See, so this footage might not look too different because the front of the store only changes with the stuff I put out, you know, the posters and all. I had all the stockings hung up across the top there. So, you know, I would know as I look at it, I might know exactly what year it was. But I know I have the tapes marked there. See, I'm outside. See? Walking around as usual. You know, I have the camera there. You know, saying nobody bothered. I don't think I would do that today. The way things are. How you doing out there, folks? Remember, here at USA Video, we always put you first. Happy holidays! See, so that's the way I used to do, you know. You see, I don't have to have sound because I can talk over it. But that's what I'm saying. A documentary, it's like anything else. A script could be written, and look at all this footage. Since this footage is different than most footage that you would see, because that store is not there anymore, and the other store we had is not there anymore. So it's definitely not going to be able to see. Not only it shows exactly the way it was, the way it's set up, the way I had it decorated and all. And plus, I have a lot of footage. I may do that again, you know, in the store with the different people I work with. You know, I may have every day. It might look the same. I'll be working with different people, different transactions. It showed all that. Exactly how it was, you know. So you can see there, it's nice out there. This is a night I picked. See it? Back again. How you doing out there, folks? Remember, here at USA Video, we always put you first. Happy holidays! I used to do that a lot. I don't know why I did it. I did it for the fun of it. So I really didn't show this, like I said, in the store too much, this footage. I kept it. See? Because, I don't know. Now that I still had it after all these years, you know, going through it. I mean, I tried a few years ago. You know, with this, I was making the DVDs up. That's why I had the DVD. I was making them up, and I was going to send it out. I think I did. I sent it out. I sent it out. Like in one disc I had, it was like 6 hours of footage. Some of the same footage I've been putting here. I sent it out. I'm back again. I sent it to Walt Disney. Of course, they're a big company. And they, you know, they looked it over and they wrote me back and said, right now, we have too many projects, maybe later on sometime. But they're professional, so, you know, I knew I was going to get an answer. So they said that would be, you know, be something to consider. But I guess because it's still recent, but like I said, being recent, might be recent, but it seems like it's further away because the way the technology, it happens so quick, you know? Especially with all the cable and everything, and then the computers, and the phones, and all that. It's amazing. See? I did have the date on there, and since I'm doing this like this now, you know, like I have music there and all, Christmas music and all. I was gonna leave it on, but mine might sound louder, or the music may sound louder the way I'm recording this. So I decided I'll do it this way. So basically, what you're looking at is footage that I have. I have a lot of it. I mean, if you look, lately I've been posting it. I'm putting it on YouTube, and then I'm tweeting it to Twitter so that people can see it. I don't know if you want to really, you know, see it. And see, I paused it there. That's why I decided to talk over it. You know, back inside that tree again. That tree, it's seen so many different decorations. Look at that. All the tinsel and bows on it this time, and lights. So this is inside again, and the movies are back at the counter, and those movies that were, I had changed it around. The new releases were in the back, further back, and then I shifted everything and made them come out to the front. And everything's in numerical order. When the movies come in every week, I was entering them in the computer in numerical order. But the movies on the shelf are alphabetical order, so you can see it would have been hard to do it with the movies alphabetical order on the shelf, because the new ones would end up anywhere then. So it worked out good. There, I guess I should do it. Can you see me there? On the left-hand top there? Probably can see me right there. Right where the V is. And I'm going to flash the date on the screen, probably. Yep, there you are. See it? December 24th, 1997. See that? That's a big camera. It worked all right. Like I said, I ended up using it for surveillance. But yeah, we were also renting them cameras. We rented cameras and we rented VCRs. There was a lot of things that I might not think of if I was writing this all up or something. But we also did VCR repair. TVs and everything. People would bring them in, and we would give them a ticket, and there would be a free estimate, and the company would call them. If they didn't want it done, they'd have to just bring it back. Actually, there was no charge or nothing, and when they brought it back, you paid. So it wasn't like you had to pay them or they wouldn't bring it back. Of course, if you couldn't pay, well then you should have okayed the repair. But there was a tune-up special for the VCRs, like I think it was $29.95. So if you wanted to, keep your VCR in good shape, if it was acting up, it's another thing with the tapes. If someone's VCR, is dirty, the heads need to be clean, and they rent the tape, another person gets it and the tape don't play, it's like a virus, it's so I even had head cleaners there. We were selling them, but then I was actually letting the people rent them in a way. I would give it to them to use, because I figured it was to our benefit to keep these tapes from messing up, and from messing up the tapes and the VCRs. So that was a thing. There's a lot of things, and that's why I decided I can talk over it, and I'll try to cover all the things so I don't have a script or nothing. It's just as I see it, like you're seeing it. I zoomed in there, and that was Tim Allen from the Santa Claus movie. A little bit blurry. That's because of that camera. Sometimes it wouldn't focus right. Yeah, there it is. That's a little bit better. And they sent some good stand-ups, for these movies. And it was, they knew that. We get them pretty much way ahead, more than a month ahead on a lot of it. So that kept me busy doing that. Changing posters. That poster, the Blues Brothers, that we kept. That I wouldn't change. That was a good, I think one of the companies sent it. I put it there, and and we had that movie, of course. People would ask about it, they might say, they decide to rent it. Stock films rented good. Action adventure there. It was room where I would change the shelves around a little bit. I could move children to another section, all depending on how many movies would fit better. But and another thing, everything was the same price. We had a little problem with that because it was confusing. When the new releases were one price, and then the stock films were another price, so everything was the same price. $3, and that was it. Now I had another problem. $3 plus tax. We were having a lot of problem with change, keeping up change. So I changed it from $2.80. I made it $2.80. Plus tax was $3. So it didn't make much difference. We paid the tax. That was what counted. And that solved that problem. We took credit and all that. But most people pay cash, $3. But it was a lot easier. Someone comes in and they rent a movie, it's $3, $6, $9. Well, we got away from that change, It's like, I think, $3.18 or something. Look at all the change we're going to need for every transaction. So I had a lot of things to keep up, to try to make it better. And we had a lot of movies for sale. We were selling everything, other games. It was a lot of things, It kept me real busy, though. Let's see, I put them, the walls, didn't have nothing, and I didn't have frames on the wall, so I tacked up the posters, like with pins, and I would change them. Yeah, pretty much, I guess every month. In the back, I could put the older posters. It didn't matter. Like over Action Adventure, I might try to put all the action movies there. You know, posters. I was trying to keep up. Like right there, that's they sent us a stand-up with Tom Hanks, that thing you do, and I took the cutouts. You know, I put it up on the wall, so I kept it there. Now here's something: a driving game. This was a popular thing. A video game. People would sit in there and they would wait to play it. You know, I used to tell everybody, play. If there's people here, when you get down, let the next person. Because what was happening was these people stay on there and they keep playing it, and I don't want a lot of people standing there. It was kids too, but grown-ups. It was like 50 cents, and it was nice, you know, driving like that. You really felt like you were driving. It was a good game, a big screen. So I had to, you know, keep track of that. You know, I try to show it pretty good here. That's on the demo of it. It was nice. You could sit down and all, put the money in, and drive around and speed it up. But you know, to make you go outside and do that, driving, that was popular there. But we have a big store. We have plenty of room for that. And like right here, see, I'm fixing the shelves, and I'm gonna go over some things. How you doing out there, folks? Remember, we have a matinee special, tapes rented and returned before 5 p.m. or half price, and we're open every day, 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. And we also have another special where you rent 2 movies and you get the third one free. We have that during the weekdays only, from Monday to Thursday. And again, I look forward to any questions or anything. I'll see you at the movies. That's about what I said there. I have the actual, you know, voiceover there, but I took it off now, you know, because just to show you what can be done. Like all that footage I have, a lot of it's, you know, it's got the sound. I think the best thing would be so we could add music, like I did. I think was to make it up, the documentary, and no sound. And then do the voiceover, or any interviews or anything can be added. That's different. But see how the footage, what I have, and we can discuss anything you want to. Like like right here. Okay? I'm fixing the tree. Of course, I'm talking over it now. Look at that. How you doing out there, folks? Remember, here at USA Video, we always put you first. Happy holidays! I'll see you at the movies. And remember now, we're open every day, 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. Make sure you realize that. Yeah, so that's pretty much what I said. I mean, I used to have it where now I could have done it now. Could have had a switch here when I went to talk. I could have switched it, but it won't sound right because it'll be lower and the sound will be different. This way, it'll all be the same. And if you listen to this, I mean, if anybody's interested, I'll put something in the description, you know, when I post it. Yeah, there it is. Now, there's a lot here. When I did this, you know, when I copied it, it was hard for me to copy from the tapes to the DVD because I picked all the tapes and then I had to set the tapes. Wait a minute, folks. What are you doing out there? Remember, here at USA Video, we always put you first. Happy holidays! Yeah, so back to what I was saying. When I did this, say there's 6 hours on the disc. I didn't take one tape. I went through a lot of different tapes. They're marked. So I take one, and I would do this, like this piece here, and I would pause the DVD. No, I would end the DVD so it would be the title, and then I would start the DVD again with another section. So that's why this came out pretty good, you know. But copying it here from the screen that I have onto the front camera of my computer, it comes out all right. The sound comes out perfect, but the video part I don't think is matching exactly right. But it's good enough for this purpose. Again, I'm trying to see if anybody like to do a documentary. I think it's an opportunity. I'm not looking, you know, someone makes a deal with a company or they want to buy it. Well, here we go again. How you doing out there, folks? Remember, here at USA Video, we always put you first. Happy holidays! Pretty much got that down. I knew I could do it this way. If I left the sound, it would be lower than what I'm speaking, so I didn't do it. Now, I could have left this without me talking at all, because I had music and all. And I would cut the music and I would come in and talk there, but I'm just showing what can be done. I mean, I've posted a lot of footage, you know. Some of you people have to see it. You know, you had to see it already by now. I'm trying to do it now. It's Christmas time, and this is the Christmas time, a lot of this footage. Not all of it. You can see how it was. It's not there now. Like PBS. I think they did a few years ago. They did a documentary on the things that aren't there anymore. And I think they were the only ones that had it. So the only way you were going to see it was from them. Then they came up with another one, Things That Aren't There Anymore, Part 2. So in this case, this is one of the things that aren't there anymore. You might be a video store, I don't know. There may be a few scattered here and there. Again, you see me in the left-hand corner there, where the star is, between the U and the V there. Yeah, so that's how I was doing all this. I can prove I recorded it. It was like I called it a picture in a picture, in a sense, because of that. I thought it was clever, you know, and I would pause it there, and then usually I flash the date on there at that time. That's what I liked about that camera. They all have it, but you gotta have the date and all set, the date and time. That's pretty much. Surprised that I didn't flash it yet. No, because I paused it. That's why. Yeah, I'm not going to do none of that here. You know, I can pause. You know, the screen that I have here that I'm using. But I don't want to do it. I did it in the beginning. You know, I have to touch this. It's a touch screen, and I touch it and I put play and pause and you know. But I'm not going to do it because I'm talking over it anyway, so it really doesn't matter. So if anybody's interested in doing a documentary from the footage I have, it might take some time to do really a good footage, you know, good show. It's going to show more. You can look up video stores, and there's a lot of footage, but most of it's like when they close down, and they're interviewing the owner, the employees, customers, and all, and it would be on a newscast or something. Yeah, or it might be how Blockbuster started and all. They're going to show some footage, but not like this footage. Because this footage, I know that nobody has this footage. And plus, it's a mom and pop video store. I don't know. I left it like that now. I don't want to touch anything. So I'm going to just keep talking over it. So if anybody's interested, you can take the footage that I have already posted, and you can if you can put it together somehow. I suggest that taking all this footage and looking it over, like I have the counter transactions, the Christmas time, the snowstorms, inside and outside, and all that. There's a lot of footage. See how you want to put it together. I would take the sound off. And as you look at it, well, you could keep what I'm saying, you know, and write it down maybe, and then when you put it together, make a script. You know, as you're looking at it, make a script. And then see if you get somebody that could do the voiceover. I mean, I could possibly do it. I don't really want to do it. So you can see there, I had paused that. I didn't pause it now. I paused it when I filmed it. I don't know why I actually did that. Maybe it was coming to the end of the tape or something. But back to what I was saying, that you could probably make it up. I mean, the whole thing is, I don't know how this documentary is going to come out. And this titles, you could just do, I have enough Christmas footage. You could just put Christmas at a mom and pop video store. It could be just a documentary on that. Most of your documentaries are anywhere from half an hour to an hour. They're not usually too long. I think an hour is a good thing, but again, it might not be an hour. It might only be 45 minutes because you got all the commercials and all. I don't know how this could be done. You gotta get somebody that's familiar, interested, a company that can, put the money into it. You can have music, different kind of music. Can be composed for it, and it can kind of, well, like I said, we can take people today and interview them about it, see if they remember it. There's a lot can be done. I mean, this footage, like I said, I repeat some of it, but in this case, I did it because I wanted to talk over it. I've been doing this now. I haven't really got anybody's interest yet. If I keep doing it, maybe somebody will come along, and they might decide they want to work on a project. I'm not going to pay you. I'm giving you the material, and my expertise and a lot of stuff. I'm giving you the product, basically, and plus the idea. But if anybody wants to do that, invest a little bit of time. And if you do invest any money, so this is 1999. If you do invest any money, you're gonna get it back, because the main thing is to make the deal. And any deal that's made, I'm giving you the authority to make a deal. Whoever partners with me, you can do what you want, knowing that I want to make a deal, want to sell everything. You could just sell it, all the tapes and everything, and the rights to it, and that's it. We're out of it, but the money we get, we split. That means we wouldn't get any royalties or anything. So if that's showing all over, you know how much money every time that showed, could be getting a lot of money. We have to make a price, or maybe if there's a couple other companies interested, see what you think. I don't know exactly what I would ask, but if we do make a deal, you would get from that money, you take out any cost. So keep track of your hours, keep track of any expenses that any mailing, anything that you've done. Keep track of it all, and that money will come off the deal, and then we'll split the rest. So it's a chance for someone to get money and me get money. But it all depends on how we can come up with a gimmick, to make this, make a sale to somebody. If anybody wants to do it themselves and want me to, for me to sell you the rights and all, I can do that very easily. We can eliminate everything and make it quick. Someone comes along and say, look, I've been seeing all that footage, I like it, I want it all, I'll take it, give me a price, and then whatever you do, it's up to you then. You can make your own documentary, you could try to sell it to somebody else, whatever you want to do. Simple thing would be, like I said, you like it, you fall in love with this, because you know it's something that's not there anymore, and it's definitely not. It has a lot of possibilities. So having this footage, you could reconstruct a video store. Make it like a video store, I guess brick and mortar or something. Call it the video store brick and mortar. And inside you can have all electronic stuff now. You can have all the TVs for sale. You can have all the cameras, the phones, and everything. It could be a store like that. And this would be sort of like set it up to look like the video store, and use the counter to make your sales. And you could have all the stuff in the store that you're selling. And it would be would draw the people in, Could be a lot of things done, but with this footage, it could be recreated. I told you how the shelves are made. Shelves could easily be done. You just make frames on 2x4s, and then you get the plywood. It's come 4x8, so you could figure it out. You wouldn't have to cut too much, because if you just make it come out even. Then once that's all done, like I said, you put the 2x4s on the front, you space it, paint everything, and put those plastic mirrored strips. That's it. It can be redone. So again, like since I'm just showing, this is outside, and you can see how it is. A lot of things there are dated. There's payphone on the outside there. I had 2 payphones, one on each side. You know why? We were getting money from that. So when they collected it, we got like half, I think, because it was our store. There was a lot of things we were getting money from. That was one of them. And we were getting from all those games, we were getting a lot of money. But in that time, it wasn't so important, because we were getting a lot of rentals and we're making money from the movies. But remember, the movies cost a lot of money, and the rent was high there. I think it was like $5,000 a month. But we could make that almost in 1 week. You know, it was real busy. But again, that's the way it was. That was then, this is now. And I hate to see this footage go to waste. That's why I'm showing it so much. Because maybe someone might have an idea for it, you know. You could probably do it online. You could probably do maybe on iTunes, or maybe you can get somebody to put the music to it. Maybe make a new soundtrack. There'll be a lot of things that could be done. I don't know. I mean, if someone wants to see if they can make a deal with some company, like I said, we'll sell them the rights for everything, and that's it. It's probably the best for us to see how much we could get. You know, we know we could just get a cash advance, and then when they do everything, they could deduct their cash advance, and then we would split any profits from that point on. But I'm trying to keep this very simple, and as simple as it is. Simple is, if anybody there that's in the sound of my voice, just think about it. Say, well, this guy's got something there that nobody has. It's footage, you know. It's I can't make it up. It's all dated and all, and just can't. So the best thing is, like I said, somebody think about it out there. I'm real negotiable, so it's not a problem. If someone wants it and say you can't pay too much. Well, maybe if you give me a cash advance, I'll give you everything, and then you can take it whatever money comes in. Look at this. Hey, how you doing out there, folks? Remember, here at USA Video, we always put you first. Happy holidays! See you at the movies. So again, you see all that. I mean, you can see there's nothing there. I mean, I just keep thinking about this now, because I'm still, after all these years, I'm still at the video store. For me, it's like it's nostalgia, you know. But again, I think a documentary, well produced, you know, and take this footage and work it in, you know, into it. You know, it's just a lot, you know. If you look at all what I've posted so far, it's on YouTube. Really, all you have to do, if you punch in my name, and all my videos are going to come up on YouTube. I've already done it. So if you punch in my name, put Frank Leeper, and since I have all kind of music, videos, I have everything on there you could think of. But this was one of the things. I started with this in the beginning because I knew I had a lot of footage. So if you want to look at a lot of it, you can look at it. But I've been trying to talk over it, because if I just put this footage like this with no sound or nothing, it doesn't mean too much. Hey, how you doing out there, folks? Remember, here at USA Video, we always put you first. Okay? Well, that's basically what I don't even know. I still don't know when I did this. I don't know why. I had the camera there. I don't know why I was doing all that. I guess I was playing it in the store sometimes, you know. But I had Christmas music or something with it, so. Like the two trees in the window, the TV there, and on the right, that was a stand-up that they sent us. It was the Santa Claus movie with Tim Allen. And I put lights around it. I tried to make it the shape of it. Yeah, it showed up in the window. There's a couple people, look at that. When they came by, I saw them, and they asked me, and I said I'm making a commercial for the video store. Oh, that's nice. There's some people around, but you can see not too much. Again, like I was doing this. I spent a lot of time doing this, you know. I'm spending time doing it now because I'm going over it. But it was my life, you know. It was my dream job, and I had it for a while, running these stores. Hey, how you doing out there, folks? Remember, here at USA Video, we always put you first. Happy holidays. I'll see you at the movies. I don't know why I kept doing that. I guess I thought it was cute. I mean, I did play it in the store. People thought that was pretty good. You know, in those days, for me to do all this by myself. Just like now, I'm doing it by myself, talking over it, had to play it on the DVD player, and then copying it on this thing. And so I'm used to doing this. Now I picked up the camera. Uh-oh. What's going to happen? the outside too, you know. Now that camera, I think I had a cord on it. Electric cord. I think it was charged up, but I wanted to have the cord because I wanted to make sure I'm doing this that it just didn't stop, you know, because the battery was low. Yeah, it had a battery. Yeah, a square one, a pretty big one. But I did it with the cord. I didn't want to take a chance on the battery, you know, because when I'm doing this, I didn't want to keep going over it. Yeah, I seemed to do this. I mean, it was kind of cold out there, a little bit, but you know how the weather is, it varies. See, December 24th, 1999. So you know how old that is. That's over 20 years old. This is about 20 years old. That's how quick the time passes. I mean, video stores, it's like, with the way it is today, like I said, it's like it's longer than that, you know, because the technology has moved so fast that this looks so, you might even think it was 99. You might think it was in 1900, the way the things are, you know. Yeah, but again, back to what I was saying about if someone, I'm very negotiable. This, someone figures that you can have all this, I'll give you all the tapes, and you're going to get the rights to it because everything there, you know, I put this all together. So, I mean, you can do what you want with it. The store is closed down. You know, the locations are closed, so there's going to be no problem with anything like that. It's not like in existence and you're doing a video, but I think you can come up with something. Like I said, the best thing was to deal with me. Of course, you know, I don't have like 100 people contacting me, you know, and I have to decide who I want to do the deal with. So whoever wants to do it, this is an opportunity, because you can, and not really a lot, you know. I'm not saying, you know, if somebody contacts me and we make a deal and give me an advance, we can just say an agreement that if I see this, you know, produced, it'll be 50-50, of course. You'll get your money back if you, I'm sure you will, if you put it on one of these, maybe, actually YouTube, they have the movies now. Maybe they might do the documentary. It's something that's going to have to take time to put it together. If you seem like I'm putting it together, all right, look at this. I turned the camera, I don't know why. I guess with the cords, I was probably moving it around, clear the cords, so that's what happened.